Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Tuesday morning because Chairman members cashed in on 5 more premium selections on my premium site yesterday. We had the Astros, Dodgers over in the Boston game, over in the Padres game, and we also hit on a 2-team parlay with the Diamondbacks and the Mets. And the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my Chairman membership. And just a reminder, if you sign up for that package, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. And before we go ahead and move on, I just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a great start to this new week. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Real quick, folks, we're hitting at 67% in our last 9 daily best plays, 70% in our last 10 extra daily picks, 67% in our last 10 crowd pleaser teasers, 70% in our last 10 MLB tier package plays. And finally, folks, we are 6-2 in our last 8 board member tier package picks. And the good news is we've got plays going off in all of those packages here today. And they're all included with your purchase of the Chairman membership. With that, folks, we are going to jump into some free content. We're going to start off with the Diamondbacks squaring off against the Marlins, 6:40 p.m. East. Arizona's minus 150, total 7.5. Eduardo Rodriguez for the D-backs, Edward Cabrera for Miami. And through 59-plus innings of work this year, the righty Cabrera has certainly allowed his fair share of runs. He's got a 5.76 ERA along with a 1.50 whip. And even if he throws well here today, he's probably not going to get a ton of run support. The Fish are currently dead last in runs per game in the National League. And they've got to face the highest run-scoring team in the big leagues with Arizona. Jock Peterson's got an OPS of 956. Jake McCarthy with an on-base percentage of 383. And, of course, as a team, the D-backs got the W in 7 out of their last 10 ball games. It was actually 67 total runs they scored during that span. Now, injury-wise, Ketel Marte is out for the D-backs. Walker and Moreno also inactive. When it comes to the total, the D-backs' last 4 straight road games did get over the total. They're also 8-2 to the over in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Miami saw their last 5 straight at Lone Depot Park get over the line. Give me Arizona minus 150, over 7.5. Next game, Rockies Nationals, 6:45 East. Washington's $1.45, totals 8. DJ Hertz for the Nats, Austin Gomber for Colorado. And, I really don't want to back Gomber in this spot here. He's got a 3-8 record with an ERA of 4.82. He's also backed by one of the worst hitting lineups in the game. Colorado strikes out more times a game away from home than any other roster in the bigs. And they're going to face a Washington club who's actually hit, Colorado pitching quite well recently. The Nats averaged over 5.9 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the Rockies. And no real surprise here, folks. Washington averaged double-digit hits a game during that time frame. Alex Call's hitting 359 with an OPS nearly in the thousands. James Wood has an on-base percentage in the high 300s. Now, total-wise, the Rockies saw 2 out of their last 3 road games stay under the line. They're also 3-0 to the under in their last 3 Austin Gomber starts. Give me the Nationals minus 145, under 8. Next matchup, Guardians-Yankees, 7:05 East. New York's $1.50 at home, totals 8. Luis Gil for New York, Matthew Boyd for Cleveland. And both lineups with some real nice sluggers. Cleveland actually strikes out fewer times a game at the plate than most clubs in the bigs. Meanwhile, the Yankees on the other side, they are a top 3 run-producing team in the majors. When it comes to the total, 3 out of the Bombers' last 4 at Yankee Stadium got over the line. They also went 7-4 to the over in their last 11 Luis Gil starts. Give me the over 8 runs. Next game, Reds, Blue Jays, 7:07 East. Toronto's a $1.45, totals 8 runs. Jose Barrios for Toronto, Carson Spears for Cincinnati. And Spears has a 1.29 whip and averages just about a strikeout an inning. Of course, these Reds pitchers have been impossible to hit against away from the Great American Ballpark. They're allowing fewer hits a game on the road than any other staff in the Bigs. And they're facing a Toronto club who struggles a bit at the plate themselves. They're actually a bottom 5 run-scoring team in their own building. They also failed to cash in on the run line in 3 out of their last 4 on their own field. Now, total-wise, 6 out of the Jays' last 10 ball games did stay under the total. Meanwhile, Cincy went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Reds plus 1.5, under 8. Next game, Orioles, Mets, 7:10 Eastern start time. The Mets are minus a $1.20, totals 8.5. Jose Quintana for New York, Dean Kramer for Baltimore. Now, Kramer's just 5-9 on the year with an ERA of 4.48. And for some reason, the O's have definitely struggled with National League competition. They're winning just 40% of their interleague road games. They also have a 428 win percentage in all of their contests against the National League. And they're going to face a Mets club on the other side who's got a winning home record in their interleague games themselves. Of course, at the plate, these guys have a top 10 hit-producing lineup. Francisco Lindor's got the most hits on the roster. Pete Alonso with the most home runs. When it comes to the total, 4 out of New York's last 7 in Flushing, Queens did get over the total. They're also 67% to the over in their interleague home games. Baltimore's gone 63% to the over against National League opponents themselves. Give me the Mets minus 120, over 8.5. Next game, Phillies, Braves, 7:20 p.m. East. Philadelphia's $1.40, totals 8.5. Zach Wheeler for the Titans, Ronaldo Lopez for Atlanta. And I'll tell you what, Lopez has been real tough to hit against this year. He's got a 7-4 record with an ERA of 2.06. Of course, as a team, the Braves did get the W in 6 out of their last 9. And they've hit Phillies pitching very well recently. They've averaged nearly 5.1 runs a game in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings. And as far as the Phillies are concerned, well, they actually took the loss in 2 out of Wheeler's last 4 starts. They struggled against the run line a bit recently as well. The Phils failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 away from home. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Wheeler's last 5 starts did stay under the line. And as far as Atlanta's concerned, they've gone 11-6 to the under in their divisional home games. Give me the Braves plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next game, Brewers, Cardinals, 7:45 East. St. Louis is $1.25, total 7.5. Eric Fetty for the Cards, Frankie Montas for the Brewers. And for some reason, the Brewers have definitely pitched really well against the Redbirds here recently. They've actually held St. Louis to just 22 total runs in their last 10 gatherings. And at the plate, the Brewers continue to get tons of base runners. They definitely walk a lot, and they're a top 5 hit-producing team on the road. Willie Adames has the 9th most RBI in the majors. William Contreras has the most hits in the clubhouse. Now, injury-wise, Carpenter and Siani, I got football in the mind. Carpenter and Siani are still out for St. Louis. Give me the Brewers plus 105, over 7.5. Next matchup, Tigers, Cubs, 8:05 East.
I found this on the web for how do Carpenter Street Louis Brewers 105/7 and 1
Siri.
/2.
Wow.
Check it out.
Shut up, Siri.
Okay.
Tigers, Cubs, 8:05 East. Chicago's $1.60, totals 8. Javier Assad for the Cubs. Brian Sammons for the Tigers. And through just 18-plus innings of work, the lefty Sammons has a stifling .70 whip. Of course, these Detroit pitchers have been excellent away from Comerica Park. They're in the top 5 in the American League in hits allowed per game on the road. And they're going to face a Cubbies lineup who does not hit well at Wrigley Field. Chicago's a bottom 5 hit producing team on their own diamond. Of course, as a team, they took the loss in 4 out of their last 6, and they actually averaged just 3.1 runs a game during that time frame. Now, injury-wise, Paredes is questionable for the Cubs. Nitto's out. 3 out of the Tigers' last 4 road games did fall under the total. They're also 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me Detroit plus 1.5, under 7.5. Next game, Pirates-Rangers, 8:05 East. Texas is $1.40, totals 8. Cody Bradford for the Rangers, Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh. And Keller's got double-digit wins on the year with an ERA in the 3s. And when it comes to cashing in on the run line, the Bucks have definitely done a nice job in their interleague games. They covered in 67% of their road games against American League opponents. They're going to face a Texas team who's been pretty bad covering the run line themselves. These guys are just 15-27 against the number when facing National League competition. It's actually good for just 35% in that category. Now, the Rangers also have had a tough time producing runs at Globe Life Field. They're a bottom 10 run-scoring lineup at home in the league. Now, 4 out of the Rangers' last 5 at Globe Life Field stayed under the line. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh saw 4 out of their last 7 on the road stay under the total themselves. Give me Pittsburgh plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, Red Sox, Astros, 8:10 Eastern start time. Houston's minus $1.25, totals 8 runs. Ronel Blanco for the Astros, Nick Pivetta for Boston. Now, Pivetta's 5-8 on the year with an ERA of 4.49. And these Boston pitchers definitely have struggled this year. They're in the bottom 5 in runs allowed per game in the American League. And out of their last 10 gatherings with Houston, they've allowed 12.1 hits a game. And we could see more of the same here today as Houston is a top 3 hit-producing team. Yordan Alvarez bats .310 with an OPS of .955. And Jose Altuve leads the roster in hits. Of course, they may not need a ton of runs here today with Ronel Blanco on the hill. He's got an ERA in the 2s along with a 1.01 whip. As a matter of fact, this Houston pitching staff allows fewer hits a game than any other team besides one. Give me Houston minus $1.25. All right, next game, Angels-Royals, 8:10 Eastern start time. Kansas City's the $2 favorite, totals 8.5. Cole Reagans for the Royals, Tyler Anderson for Los Angeles. And even though Anderson's had some pretty good stuff this year, the Angels definitely don't want to win for the guy. He's recorded 11 losses and does not have a winning record. Of course, at the plate, these Angels sluggers have been brutal. They just have not been good. They're a bottom 5 hit-producing team. And they got to face a 10-win Cole Reagans, who's got an ERA in the low 3s, along with 174 strikeouts. And of course, at the dish, the Royals have been pounding the ball at Kauffman Stadium. They're in the top 3 in runs per game on their own ball field. Bobby Witt Jr. has the highest qualifying batting average in the major leagues. Vinny Pasquantino with the 4th most runs batted in. Now, 3 out of the Royals' last 4 at Kauffman Stadium did get over the total. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me KC minus 1.5, over 8.5. Next contest, Twins, Padres, 9:40 East. Both teams are minus $1.10, pretty much a coin flip, totals 8. Martin Perez for the Padres, Bailey Ober for Minnesota. And both clubs with some exceptional qualities that definitely make this one tough to handicap. You know, for Minnesota, starting pitcher Bailey Ober, he's 12-5 with a whip of 1 even. Meanwhile, the Padres on the other side, they're a top 3 hit-producing team at the plate. Now, total-wise, some conflicting factors there that also make this one tough to pick. For San Diego, they went 60% to the over in their last 10. But for Minnesota on the other side, they saw 6 out of their last 10 stay under. So if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line, run line, or total in this This game's being featured as my board member tier package pick on my premium page. Next game, Rays, A's, 940 East. Tampa Bay is $1.20 on the road, total 7.5. Shane Boss for Tampa Bay, Joey Estes for Oakland. And the righty Estes does not have a winning record on the year. Actually has an ERA in the high 4s. And he's going to have to do better than that because Oakland's a bottom 5 hit producing team. So he's probably, not going to get a whole lot of run support here today. Of course, they're going to face a Tampa club who's definitely pitched well against Oakland in recent meetings. The Rays have held Oakland to just 2.6 runs a game in their last 10 gatherings. And of course, on the mound, these Rays pitchers have shown some exceptional control. They walk fewer batters per 9 on the road than any other staff in the league. Now, 7 out of the Rays' last 10 ball games did fall under the line. Meanwhile, Oakland went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me Tampa Bay minus 120, under 7.5. Next contest, White Sox, Giants, 945 East. San Francisco's minus 250, totals 8 runs. Robbie Ray for the Giants, Davis Martin for Chicago. Now, the White Sox are the worst team in baseball, and they actually scored the fewest amount of runs. No real surprise there. Of course, the Giants on the other side, they've definitely been hitting it well at Oracle Park. They're a top 10 hit-producing team at home. Matt Chapman leads the organization in hits and RBI. Tyler Fitzgerald has an OPS of 981. And out of 21 innings of work this year, the lefty Robbie Ray has punched out 30 batters. So definitely averaging well over a strikeout an inning. Now, injury-wise, Patrick Bailey's questionable for the Giants. When it comes to the number, 6 out of San Francisco's last 8 home games did fall under the line. They're also 80% to the under in their last 10 at any location. Now, Chicago went 4-1 to the under in their last 5 on the road. Give me San Francisco minus 1.5, under 8. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the video. It's going to be Mariners-Dodgers, and that'll be a 10:10 Eastern start time. The Dodgers are the $1.55 favorite at home here. Totals 9 runs. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. Bryce Miller for Seattle. And the righty Miller is just 1 win shy of double digits for the year. He has an ERA in the low 3s, 1.00 whip. Of course, the Mariners are the toughest team to hit against in the league. They allow the fewest amount of runs and hits per game. And they're facing a Dodger club who struggled against the run line here recently. They failed to cash in 6 out of their last 10. And of course, on the mound, Walker Buehler has been anything but dominant. He's just 1-4 with an ERA in the 6s. Now, 2 out of LA's last 3 at Dodger Stadium stayed under the total. They're also 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me Seattle plus 1.5, under 9. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. I like Arizona minus 150, over 7.5. Nationals minus 145, under 8. Give me the over 8 in the Guardians-Yankees game. Cincinnati Reds plus 1.5, under 8 runs. New York Mets minus 120, over 8.5 hook. Atlanta Braves plus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Brewers plus 105, over 7.5. Tigers plus 1.5, under 7.5 hook. Pittsburgh plus 1.5, under 8. I like the Astros minus $1.25, getting the job done for some money line cash. Give me the Royals minus 1.5, over 8.5 hook. I have no free pick available for you in the Twins-Padres game. Give me the Rays minus 120, under 7.5. Giants minus 1.5, under 8 runs. Give me the Mariners plus 1.5, under 9. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.